Music theory is basically like your XP in music. So you need more XP to get to a higher level of making music, right? But it's like saying when you're on day one, do I need 100 levels of XP to make beats? It's like, no, it's just XP. Like music theory is just like the knowledge of making music. It's just like your knowledge of music is higher. It's like reading the guide to a game. Like how many of you guys have ever played a game and there's a guide that exists for the game? Now you can go and read the guide before you play the game, and you could read it up and down for days, and you could study the whole entire guide. And then when you get in the video game, it might help. It might not though too. You still have to play the game, and it doesn't mean you're just gonna, speed run it. Just because you read the guide doesn't mean you could speed run the game. Does that make sense? Not that that's the goal. You play the game over and over and over and over. You just know how the game works. Your problem is you don't know where to put the sounds in the beat, and then you just have to keep putting the sounds in different places until you like it. If you put it in a million places and you don't like it, ask yourself this: does it sound better without it all the way? Like if you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know where to add a hi-hat roll. No matter where I put the hi-hat roll, it doesn't sound good. What if it's just better without a hi-hat roll and you're trying to force a hi-hat roll in there? If you really want a hi-hat roll in there, you could try changing the hi-hat, try changing something else, try changing the space around the hi-hat. You can be as random as possible. Honestly, look, you can be so random. It doesn't matter what you pick. It's how you use it. Look, I'm closing my eyes. Okay, I just landed here. Wow, we got probably the worst plugin we could have picked. Bass drum. I'm gonna pick a random one. All right, now let's pick another random VST. Let's debunk talent. Talent is a tricky word because in my experience of living, I've noticed that a lot of people mean that people didn't earn any XP, right? So imagine somebody with 5,000 XP and you just didn't see them earn 3,000 in their whole life. And then somebody comes along and they're like, yeah, they're just talented. Like they're just born like that. Like that's easy for them. If you play like jazz music or maybe like, yeah, if you play jazz music around a baby its whole entire life and then it keeps growing up around its whole entire life and then one day like it just goes in the piano and knows how to play jazz, is that talent or is that, just learned over time? Like a kid who's really good at soccer naturally, he must have done something when he was a kid to build his hand-eye coordination naturally. Yeah, some people don't need as long to get good at a skill. Is that talent though, or they just have a different path? Because everybody has different paths and it comes to like comparing. Because you could take somebody who's like played video games their whole life and is really good at a game or really good at video games because they've been playing for 20,000 hours. Then you could have somebody who's a really good coach just come in and be like, yo, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do that to get good. And then they just follow that and they do it in way less time. It feels like I see people being dismissive, even like towards themselves when they're like, oh, that person's just talented. Like I can never do it. I think the talented part that people say the other person has talent, that part was really easy to get and it was just natural for them. And you can get natural talent as well. I think you can spawn in your own natural talent just by making it easier for yourself. It's like when people ask me, should I watch YouTube videos to get better at making beats? I think if you watch a bunch of tutorials on how to make good beats and you have a good taste in beats because you really like to listen to them and it's something you like to listen to, then over time when you make a beat you'll naturally be better at making the beat because you already have more training. Like the listening and the studying part is part of the work. Yeah, because some people don't need to make beats all day. Some people can just make one beat a day and be good and they're just like, I made one beat and that's it. But those people have a natural skill to be like, all right, I am making something that's really good for whatever. Like it's really good for what I want to make. Yeah, basically like a mental framework maybe.